quiet as before, but this time the entire room is upside down. We're not going to be swallowed inexplicably by Misaha again, are we? That shouldn't be. But first, we'll need to locate Saha and have the necessary discussion with her. Indeed, hope everything goes well. Did any of you notice anything resembling glowing jellyfish? Why jellyfish? Don't you think it bears a resemblance to Miss Lantern's head? Whatever, but obviously she hasn't followed us here. Otherwise... Wait, now that you mention it, they do look alike, do they? Exactly. Just seeing that makes me feel she can be a villain. That logic doesn't quite make sense.
We 要去的地方仍然很远吗？
it can't be. She is not here. That's odd. While others wander around, Sarah had never left the library since Langqiu and Access split into two separate worlds. She never bothered to use her own body, even when she wanted to go find someone. No wonder Lantern hasn't showed up yet. She must be aware of what happened here. Don't you notice, not chasing after us is highly unusual behavior for Lantern. But if Ch2-Ph3-Pt2 isn't here in the first place, if we choose to defend this spot, she could easily take us down. No need to relentlessly pursue us. Maybe we should try our luck at the corridor. Looks like that's our only option. Of course, we won't have the upper hand in combat by simply changing from Ch2-Ph3-Pt2 to Thelema in our plan. The ultimate deciding factor will likely be Chen Xue's trump card. So, what on earth is that? It's rather complicated to explain, but don't worry, you'll find out when the time comes. Alright then, when Chen Xue is so confident about that, let's not waste more time and head to the corridor now. Also be vigilant on the way. An ambush. Looks like someone's one step ahead of us. Given her background, she's definitely a professional for this. In your Jigsaw world, would she be skilled enough to be a Valkyrie? I can't say, but if you're talking about style alone, maybe someone who used to fight Jigsaw. Why bring that up all of a sudden? Perception, can you sense where exactly she's ambushed? Can we avoid her? In theory, it's possible, but I wouldn't recommend any reckless action. You wouldn't have similar doubts if you had the ability to sense shadow powers. But I'm afraid I can't say for sure whether this leads to a blessing or a curse. No matter what, it seems there's nowhere to retreat to. In the darkness beyond your sight are numerous threads of indiscernible material, most likely set up by Lantern and sourced from the Shadow Snare, a tool used by the Lantern organization. This time it feels more like she's trying to stop us. Maybe we're in the right place. But what could happen if we stumble upon those threads? Highly unlikely to yield any positive results, and there's very slim chance that Miss Lantern is inviting you to play jump rope. I highly doubt she's into that. Are we really going to determine our next move based on her principles? Since she respects others' territory, this item should not lead to something mutually destructive. Instead of waiting for her to show up, why not probe the situation and see if we can take any bold move? That's like not having a plan. If it's just reconnaissance, I can handle it alone. That's not a bad idea. I have planned a burial. Don't bring that up. Fortune smiles down on me. Hey, on perception, would you consider answering us with something like teleportation? The cost is too high. I must decline. What shall we do now? What's the matter on perception? The threat disappeared. Seems luck's on our side. No, it's not. Indeed, that suggests Lantern herself is manipulating everything nearby. In any case, we'll just have to brace ourselves and head over there. It's awfully quiet. Could it be the very slim chance perception mentioned earlier? No way. I'd rather believe she suddenly had the idea to help Delima decorate the corridor. Has Lantern actually set up a trap here? Did you make a mistake back there, Perception? Delima doesn't seem to be somewhere ahead. Wait, is this place similar to the library from earlier? You'd better go take a look for yourself. Could it be that all the shoes just happen to be missing at this moment? Hard to say. Your mental state is too normal to understand the behavioral logic of shoes. I actually don't think they're that difficult to understand. Anyway, the promised 20 minutes are up. Despite nearly falling into the opponent's trap, we've also gained the upper hand for a counter-attack at this moment. I suppose you need perception to release Donigwe from its restraints at the right moment, don't you? That's right. Sharp-minded as ever, Crazy. Donigwe, now that you mention it, just noticed. No need to search anymore. It was intentionally left behind when we returned from Oxia, and is likely the key to the mysterious trump card. Let's cut the chase. This lantern might start feeling neglected and demand attention. The logic is simple. No matter how tough our opponent seems, they can't truly eradicate their innate weaknesses. Much like when she awakened, the footsteps of this unconventional shrew, known as Lantern, could be described as gentle and relaxed. And just like the reason she became a shrew, her unending footfall was enough to unsettle everyone. She would softly hum a tune, only on certain occasions, signaling her current intent to those nearby. The only pity was, although she believed she had complete control over their judgment, in this trap she had set, nobody was willing to be her audience. The phrase, "in dire straits," aptly captures the situation of Song Que and the outsiders at this moment. 3. She believed no one in this inescapable trap could find a way out. 2. However, she did overlook one thing. Okay, I'll do the countdown for you. It was undeniably an inescapable trap, and so the girls were still trapped within. But who could say one couldn't set another trap within a trap? Although this is rather impolite, I wish to extend a welcome. Welcome to a journey into the distant past. A while ago, in a dim corner of the banquet hall, some kind of change was silently taking root. This change, which didn't elude the host's notice, was unrelated to the disputes with Lantern, as they were elsewhere at the time. I don't recall ever giving Filth the privilege of attending my banquet. With a sigh, the girl in the whole seat lifted her hand towards the gathering shadows. The change was supposed to stop right there. Yet unexpectedly, those fragile smoky shadows were still writhing in place. She quickly attributed it to some kind of side effect of her long slumber and decided to end her weight, driving away those impudent intruders. Steadily, she walked through the corridor until the mad banquet had covered all the shadows. This should do. Gently tapping her toe, she expected the shadow would disappear in the gust of wind she created. However, aside from the brittle sound of her heel on the floor tiles, nothing happened. So, the change didn't take place in the banquet hall, but on me. As soon as she realized that, she cast aside her aristocratic pride and began to sense the source of her power, trying to find out the reason why it couldn't be wielded at will. The shadows coiled in the corner, seemingly aware of the situation, and expanded several times over in just a few seconds while Selima was in silent thought. Well, since this filth is so eager, I'll have my servants clean up here first. But who should I call upon to deal with that? It would be quite intriguing for you to meet your former companions, wouldn't it? You all crawled out of the same crevice like slugs. I imagine you'd understand each other's weakness better. But I truly despise this old-fashioned way of cleaning. No novelty, no grace, and utterly boring. As the cleaning finished, Selima identified the cause of the change. Some external force was suppressing her connection with the servants. To gather her usual strength, she had to allocate a portion of her power specifically to oppose this force. More strangely still, the suppressions showed no sign of weakening, but rather grew stronger with each passing moment. Treading over the vanishing remnants of shadow, she left her maze-like mansion. At this moment, a huge spherical shadow hung high in the sky, like a vile and hollow eye looking down upon the streets of Langqiu and the shrew of pleasure who's gazing upon it. Selima felt it must be a direct connection with her abnormal power control, perhaps even a manifestation of this change. And the most likely suspect, apart from the earlier guests, is probably you. As if unintentionally, she controlled what remained of the astral ring bearing the name of Ecliptic. To the noble, it was a sun that fell from the sky. It was incomparable to regular astral rings, but ultimately only symbolizing a catastrophe. Be it reshaping the authority or subverting the world, she actually doesn't care about these powers inscribed in the 12 houses. No matter how elaborately disguised, a fake remains a fake. Yes, but it doesn't matter. Ever since the day you accepted this, you, I, everyone, haven't we all known it deep down? You, no. It is awake. It's fine. This is a common sentiment that people always subconsciously feel. She has already tried her best, doing everything she can to fight. And in her desolate disillusionment, only one thing still fills her with pride. What are you talking about? Of course, I won't stop here.
我喜欢地球之神的故事。你说，我们会不会有一天也能变成落星之神？
Masquerade Corridor, Admission Qualification Review 1. Time. Recorded by Ivy. Visitors' particulars. A blond man aged around 30. He wore an old-fashioned aristocratic tuxedo and held an exquisite-looking box. He was well-dressed, but his steps were unsteady, as if he was hiding something. When he arrived, he looked tired and asked me to notify Lady Selima in an ingratiating tone that belied his attire. Following the rules, I searched him and took him to the interview room. Conversation transcription. Esteemed Lady Selima, how do you do? I'm grateful for your receipt. Name. Pardon me for forgetting. My name is Benjamin Ross, the last of my family line. The Ross family. Sounds familiar. Yes, what an honor to be remembered by you. 3 generations ago, my family was quite prestigious in Langqiu. Small, but prestigious nonetheless. Only it has declined. Your father should have interacted with us. I remember my father acquired your ancestral property, and it was quite cheap if I'm not mistaken. Yes, as you know, after the shadows appeared, the world fell into chaos, and we're only trying to survive. There's no need to explain. So you came for that rumor. Join the mad banquet in the masquerade corridor, and you'll never be harmed by the shadows. Exactly. I heard that because too many people applied for the mad banquet, you have to conduct these interviews to find the real aristocrats. Surely I'm the best candidate in this regard, being a bona fide noble descendant. Is that so? You think you're an aristocrat like me? In that case, why do you speak to me in this ingratiating tone? Aren't we equals? No, I never meant to. I dare not consider myself equal to the matriarch of the Ch2-Ph3-Pt2 family. Not only that, Lady Thelema, I brought you a first meeting gift to prove my willingness to submit to you. See? It's a medallion passed down in the Ross family through generations. A medallion? Legends say it's the honor that the progenitor of the Ross family earned through lifetime service, and the foundation on which we clan prospered. And now, I present it to you as an expression of my loyalty. Is that so? Lady Thelema sighed and stood up. Indeed, I said only the aristocrats I recognize may join the banquet, but I define what an aristocrat is. As for you, Mr. Ross, the glory of ancestors and the loyalty to me, which do you think a real aristocrat would choose? We have another assistant this time. Assistant? Do you mean perception? Could it be the one who left these mechanisms was its true form? Well, I do think that is the case, but we should let unperception confirm this last step herself. And perception, what do you think? It isn't difficult to break the spell on the mechanism. But since this puzzle is set up as a test, how can I solve it for you? Don't say that, unperception. On one hand, we've already solved the puzzle on the mechanism. Only the camouflaging spell remains. It's equivalent to having solved the mechanism. On the other hand, asking for your help is a way to solve the mechanism too, no? Indeed, she did not say that you could not get external help when she was setting up this mechanism. While you make it sound like a fallacious argument, it does make some sense. Fine, I'll do as you wish. The mechanism changed along with a flash of light. It's open, eh? The puzzle only changed again. To solve it for you directly defeats the purpose of the test. Although I've removed the magic, I've added a new puzzle. The beginning is the end, and the end is the beginning. There is no end to the cycle. You're barely halfway through solving this puzzle. And perception, can't you bend the rules for us? It's not possible. In fact, I can even solve all the mechanisms and return all the collections stored in them. They'll be fantastic, eh? The mechanisms were placed to give the items stored inside to those who could solve them. As one of the 5 people who designed the mechanisms, I have the right to return the acquired items to her. Is there a problem? Hey, that's not what I meant. Found it! This must be the next mechanism. But its location is different from what was hinted. Whatever, maybe it fell out of use and got moved here. Let's crack the mechanism first. Done. This riddle was way too easy. Wait, what's that? Watch out. Finally done, but why are there monsters buried here? Is it because that mechanism just now? You don't think that the clue to the items are hidden in any roadside mechanisms, do you? I shouldn't have acted so rashly. What she left here is the most important collection since the separation of Langqiu and Oxia. Okay, but why go through all this trouble to set up such a complex mechanism just to pass it on to someone? Simple. She doesn't need it anymore. Huh? With a soft click, a palm-sized dropping fell from the mechanism. Then the outline of the mechanism started to blur, fading into the cracks between the bricks beneath everyone's feet, gone in a flash. What's this? It felt just like any ordinary mechanism, previously blending seamlessly into the rest of the device. This is what you've been hunting for all this time. Huh? This is it? No matter how you look at it, it's just an ordinary fragment of gadget. And perception, you're not pulling our leg, are you? Of course, this is the treasure sealed within the mechanism. However, you haven't uncovered the true treasure yet. What's that supposed to mean? Wordplay at this time. That's her style, alright. Wordplay, so you mean the text on this rubbing. The mirror's flowers lack fragrance, the water's moon does not shine. Soaked, the bubble's shadows float, the marvel yet to be recognized. Taken literally, perhaps we're still missing something. That's why we can see through the illusory technique. But is there really even an illusion on this thing?